Honk by Roger Hargreaves. Honk was a sort of seal, a Timbuctoo seal. He lived in North Pole Cottage in Timbuctoo. Like all seals, Honk loved to swim. But the problem was there were only two places to swim in Timbuctoo, the river and the sea. And the trouble was that Honk lived a long way from the river, and an even longer way from the sea. So, do you know what he decided to do? He decided to build a swimming pool in the garden of North Pole Cottage. How sensible! "Now," he thought to himself, "a swimming pool is a big hole full of water, so the first thing I need is a hole." How sensible! So he went to town and walked into the shop. "Good morning, Honk," said the shopkeeper. "What can I do for you?" "I would like," said Honk, "to buy a hole." How ridiculous! "A what?" said the shopkeeper. "A hole," repeated Honk. "Don't be ridiculous," said the shopkeeper, and sent him away. On his way home, Honk met Woof. Woof was a sort of dog. "Oh, Woof," said Honk, "I don't suppose, by any chance, you have a hole lying about anywhere you could let me have?" "Don't be ridiculous," said Woof. Honk met a worm. "Aha!" he said. "You live in a hole, don't you?" "I do," said the worm. "Well," went on Honk, "I don't suppose I could buy it from you?" "Possibly," replied the worm. "Right," said Honk. "A question," said the worm. "If I sell you a hole, what are you going to do with it?" "Take it home," replied Honk, "and put it in my garden." "Oh, really?" said the worm. "And how are you going to get it there?" Honk's face fell. "I hadn't thought of that," he confessed. Then he had an idea. "I don't suppose you could post it to me?" he asked. The worm sighed. "If you want a hole in your garden," he explained, "you have to dig one." "You're right!" cried Honk. "I hadn't thought of that. Oh, you are clever." "True," replied the worm modestly, and crawled off. So Honk hurried home, found a spade, and dug himself a lovely big deep hole. "Phew!" he said. "Now," he thought, "all I have to do is to fill the hole with water, and I'll have a lovely swimming pool." Woof happened to be passing. "I say, Woof!" called out Honk. "Could you give me a hand?" "Certainly," said Woof. "What would you like me to do?" "Carry this hole down to the river," said Honk, "and fill it with water and carry it back." Woof looked at Honk. Then he looked at the hole. Then he looked at Honk again. "Don't be ridiculous," he said. "A hole that big is much too heavy to carry." Thank you for listening.